Hello students, today we are going to discussing about nitric acid preparation methods. Nitric acid, also known as aqua fortis. This one is known as aqua fortis. Nitric acid also known as aqua fortis. Laboratory preparation methods. Potassium nitrate on reaction with sulfuric acid. Potassium nitrate on reaction with sulfuric acid. We will get the nitric acid HNO3. Potassium nitrate KNO3 reacting with the H2SO4. Then you get potassium bisulfate and HNO3 nitric acid. Industrial methods, large scale preparation methods. Large scale manufacturing methods. This HNO3 in large scale is manufactured by two methods. Number one is Berkelland process. Number two is Ostwald method. First we will discuss about this Berkelland process. Berkelland process. This Berkelland process, this method is used when electricity is somewhat cheap. The places where electricity is cheap, then this Berkelland method is useful. In this Berkelland method, nitrogen and oxygen gases are sent through electric arc N2O2 mixture sent through electric arc where nitrogen react with oxygen and forms 2NO. Nitrogen react with oxygen and forms the NO. This NO undergoes oxidation with oxygen. NO undergoes oxidation. NO is again mixed with oxygen and done the oxidation process, and we will get NO2. This NO2 gas is mixed with oxygen and passed through water. NO2 gas is mixed with oxygen and passed through water. Then you will get HNO3. Then you will get the HNO3. So this is Birkeland method. This Birkeland method is used in the places where electricity is cheaply available. In this process, nitrogen and oxygen are collected from it and sent through electric arc. When these gases are sent through electric arc, we will get nitric oxide. This nitric oxide again mixed with oxygen, and heating we will get the nitrogen dioxide, nitric oxide again react with oxygen to form nitrogen dioxide. This nitrogen dioxide again mixed with oxygen and sent through water. Nitrogen dioxide is mixed with oxygen and again sent through water. Then we will get the nitric acid. Next, Archibald method. So in Archibald method, how this HNO3 is prepared in Archibald method. In Archibald method, NO is obtained by the oxidation of ammonia. Ammonia on oxidation, we will get NO. Ammonia on oxidation, we will get the NO. So ammonia on oxidation in presence of platinum catalyst, ammonia on oxidation in presence of platinum catalyst, we will get NO. This NO is oxidized with oxygen, then NO2 is formed. NO on oxidation with oxygen, NO2 is formed. This NO2 gas is passed through water. This NO2 is passed through water, then we will get the HNO. When NO2 is passed through water, we will get HNO3. This is Archibald method. So in Archibald method, ammonia is oxidized to nitric oxide. This nitric oxide again undergoes oxidation with oxygen, and we will get the nitrogen dioxide. This nitrogen dioxide gas is passed through water, then we will get the HNO3. Again, some small amounts of NO also formed. Again, we can use that. Next one, concentration method. Solve this nitric acid. Concentration of nitric acid means removal of impurity. Removing the impurity from this nitric acid is known as the concentration of nitric acid. First, in stage 1, in stage 1 what happens? 61% of HNO3 undergoes fractional distillation. To obtain 68%. So 61% HNO3 undergoes fractional distillation to obtain 68% of nitric acid. Stage 2. This 68% HNO3 mixed with H2SO4 mixed with H2SO4 and it undergoes azeotropic distillation. To get 98%. Stage 3. This 98% HNO3 cooled under 98% HNO3 cooled under freezing mixture. To get HNO3 crystals. So first 61% nitric acid undergoes fractional distillation to obtain nearly 68% of nitric acid. In the second stage, this 68% nitric acid mixed with sulfuric acid and it is subjected to azeotropic distillation to obtain nearly 98% of HNO3. This 98% of HNO3 on cooling with freezing mixture we will get the HNO3 crystals. This one is structure of HNO3. This is the structure of HNO3. HNO3. You can have 3 bonds, one dated one. Next one, properties. HNO3 is an colorless liquid. HNO3 is a colorless liquid. It shows passivity. It shows passivity with number of metals, like iron, nickel, chromium, aluminum. So nitric acid exhibit passivity with metals like iron, nickel, chromium and aluminum. So what is meant by passivity? Passivity is the process in which initial reactivity is stopped. Passivity is a process in which initial reactivity is stopped. Means at the beginning it is going to react, after some time the reaction is going to stop due to the formation of oxide layer. For example, aluminum when it is placed in air, it shows the passivity. Look at when we brought these aluminum vessels from shops, it appears as shining, it has a luster. After some days, after 4-5 days of time, after we are using this aluminum, what happens? The luster will disappear. How this luster is going to disappear? Because it's due to the formation of oxide layer on the top of the metal, on the top of aluminum vessel. What we will do to get the luster again? We are going to do using by some chemicals, by using some chemicals or by cleaning that one. We remove the oxide coating from the surface of that vessel. Again we will see this luster. Means the inner part of this aluminum shows the luster. The outer part on reaction with oxygen and carbon dioxide present in air, it forms an oxide layer on the surface of the aluminum vessel, on the surface of the metal, so that this oxide layer protect the inner layers of aluminum to undergo the reaction. It prevents the inner layers of aluminum to undergo the reaction. So the inner layers shows the passivity, the outer layer only loses its passivity due to the formation of oxide layer. So that is about the passivity. Next we will look at another point. HNO3 is a strong oxidizing agent. HNO3 is a strong oxidizing agent. It reacts with metals in different ways. For example, when it reacts with the zinc metal, will get zinc nitrate, water and the nitrous oxide, N2O. When zinc react with concentrated nitric acid, we get zinc nitrate, water and nitrogen dioxide gas. When it reacts with dilute nitric acid, we are getting N2. When it react with the concentrated nitric acid, we are getting NO2, nitrogen dioxide. This is laughing gas. We discussed about this equation in the preparation of nitrous oxide. In nitrogen dioxide gas, this one is obtained by the reaction of zinc metal with concentrated nitric acid. So these are the balancing equation. HNO3 behaves as a strong oxidizing agents. Some of the examples of these things. So look at the zinc. Here the oxidation state of zinc is 0. Here the oxidation state is +2. So zinc undergoes oxidation. So that oxidation process is carried out in presence of nitric acid. So nitric acid is a strong oxidizing agent. Here also the zinc oxidation state here is 0. Here the oxidation state of zinc is +2. So here also you can see the oxidation of zinc. So HNO3 is a strong oxidizing agent. When it reacts with copper, when it reacts with copper, we will get cupric nitrate, NO and H2. With the dilute nitric acid, we will get these things. With the concentrated nitric acid, we will get these things. Nitrogen dioxide is obtained. With dilute nitric acid, nitric oxide is obtained. With the concentrated nitric acid, we will obtain the nitrogen dioxide gas. means nitric acid in different proportions reacting with producing different products. Concentrated nitric acid, you will get first nitrogen dioxide. Dilute nitric acid, when copper react, you will get the nitric oxide. Here also, you can see this difference. With dilute nitric acid, we are getting nitrous oxide. With the concentrated nitric acid, we are getting nitrogen dioxide. So look at some of the oxidizing properties, other oxidizing properties of nitric acid. Already non-metals are the oxidizing agent. Non-metals behaves as an oxidizing agent. Metals behaves as a reducing agent. In this the general cases, black elements are reducing agents. That means all metals, is black elements, metals are reducing agents, strong reducing. We know about all these things in periodic table. So these black elements have the most metallic character containing metals. All those things behaves as reducing agents. Non-metals behaves as an oxidizing agents. So some of the non-metals I am taking here is carbon, phosphorus, sulfur, iron. These are the non-metals, they behave as an oxidizing agent. But nitric acid is a strong oxidizing agent than this non-metal. Hence, this nitric acid oxidizes carbon to carbon, phosphorus to phosphoric acid, sulfur to sulfuric acid, iodine to iodic acid. So carbon oxidizes nitric acid to carbon dioxide, phosphorus oxidizes nitric acid to phosphoric acid, nitric acid oxidizes carbon to carbon dioxide, nitric acid oxidizes phosphor to phosphoric acid, sulfur to sulfuric acid, iodine to iodic acid. Along with these things, NO2 gas also, NO2 and water also ions. Like that you can easily remember this reactions. So carbon non-metal is oxidized to nitric, non-metal is oxidized by nitric acid. Means nitric acid is a strong oxidizing agent. It oxidizing non-metals also. Carbon to carbon dioxide, phosphorus to phosphoric acid, sulfur to sulfuric acid, iodine to iodic acid. So these are the oxidizing properties of nitric acid. Next, look at the brown ring next. So what is this brown ring test? People are done this test in practicals. This test is for nitrate ions. How you are going to identify the nitrate ions? By using the brown ring test. I am taking a nitrate salt. I am taking a nitrate salt. So nitrate salt is taken. To this nitrate salt, small amount of ferrous sulfate in the form of ions to this concentrated sulfuric acid is added. When concentrated sulfuric acid is added, NO is formed. This NO react with FeH2O 6 times and forms FeH2O 5 times NO 2 plus. FeH2O 5 times NO 2 plus. What is this one is called? This is the brown ring precipitate. This is the brown ring. The oxidation state of iron in this brown ring compound is +1. Iron oxidation state is +1. In this brown ring compound, iron oxidation state is +1. So this is about brown ring test. Next one is uses of HNO3. HNO3 is a strong oxidizing agent both for organic reactions and inorganic reactions also. Strong oxidizing agent. This one is used in the preparation of fertilizers like basic nitrates. In the manufacturing of basic nitrates. So those basic nitrates are CaO. Example for this basic nitrate. This is the basic nitrate. It is used in the manufacturing of basic nitrates. Used in the manufacturing of TNT, trinitrotoluene and nitroglycerin. Used in the manufacturing of trinitrotoluene and nitroglycerin. It is also used in the preparation of nitration mixture. Nitration mixture. So nitration mixture is the mixture of nitric acid and sulfuric acid in 1:1 ratio. Nitration mixture is the mixture of nitric acid and sulfuric acid in 1:1 ratio. So these are the uses of nitric acid. The next topic is allotropy. Already some of points are already discussed in previous classes. So what is meant by allotropy? So, if an element is available in different physical forms, then we can say that element is exhibiting allotropic. So, availability of an element in different allotropic forms is allotropic. All these elements exhibit, all 15th group elements exhibit allotropic, except nitrogen in its native state. Nitrogen in its native state means in the form of a gas, it does not showing allotropic. So nitrogen in its native state does not exhibiting allotropic. The remaining elements also exhibit allotropic. Nitrogen in solid form exhibit the allotropic. In native state means when it is present as a gas, it does not showing allotropy. But when it is cooled down to a solid, then it shows the allotropy. So nitrogen in solid form available in two allotropic forms. They are alpha nitrogen and beta nitrogen. This alpha nitrogen is in cubic crystalline form. Beta nitrogen is hexagonal crystalline form. So nitrogen in solid form exhibit two forms, alpha nitrogen and beta nitrogen. Alpha nitrogen is in cubic crystalline form, beta nitrogen is in hexagonal crystalline form. Then what about the phosphorus? Phosphorus exhibits number of allotropic forms. YP4, also known as yellow phosphorus, red phosphorus, alpha black, beta black, scarlet. These are the phosphorus allotropic forms. So what about this white phosphorus? It is highly reactive. Due to angle strength. It is a discrete molecule. Discrete molecule means is phosphorus available as a single molecule. So the phosphorus P4 molecule is present like this. Each panel contains one phosphorus atom. Each phosphorus contains one phosphorus atom. It is a discrete molecule. The bond angle here is 60 degrees. The bond angle is 60 degrees, even though the phosphorus is in sp3 hybridization. In sp3 hybridization, what is the bond angle? 109 degrees, 28 minutes. But here the bond angle is 60, means bond angle is very much reduced. So when bond angle is reduced, it can observe the angle strength. The white phosphorus is stored in water. YP4 stored in water. Soluble in carbon disulfide. Soluble in carbon disulfide. It reacts with NaOH is going to react with NaOH and liberate PH3. So it liberates phosphine. So these are some of the characters of white phosphorus. Next, what about the red phosphorus? All these things we already discussed in the allotropic forms of these elements at the beginning of this chapter. We discussed about this thing. Red phosphorus is in polymeric structure. It is somewhat stable than white phosphorus. Red phosphorus is somewhat stable than white phosphorus because of its polymeric structure. Red P4. Red P4. So red P4 shows the polymeric structure. It is stable. So how this red phosphorus is obtained? White phosphorus on heating for several days, white phosphorus on heating several days, you will get the red phosphorus. White phosphorus on heating several days, you will get the red phosphorus. When red phosphorus is heated to 803 kelvins, you will get the alpha black. When this red phosphorus is heated to 573 kelvins to 473 kelvin, between these temperature ranges, we will get beta black allotropic form of phosphorus. Arsenic also available in three allotropic forms. Gray form is metallic form. Yellow phosphorus, it is non-metallic phosphorus, and black phosphorus. So arsenic is available in three allotropic forms. Antimony also exhibit the allotropy. So nitrogen in gas form does not exhibit the allotropy, but when the nitrogen is in solid form, it shows the allotropy. Okay, students, we will continue we will continue this topic on the next class. Thank you.